So, welcome to the video. Basically, what this video is going to be about is I'm going to be answering a bunch of questions that I asked ChatGPT to make. These questions are going to be about unpacking how my life has been because I want to do some deep reflection on how my life has been. Okay, let's begin by answering question about past and present. The first question is, if you could describe the past 6 months of your life in a few sentences, how would you? So right now it's January. The past 6 months would be from August last year. So August last year up to through December and then January, which is year 2025. How would I describe it in a few sentences? It's very different. I would say in August last year, in August 2024, I was still caught up in my past, and there was like a chapter in my life that is already over, but I was still hung up on it, and that was me in August 2024. And yeah, I was hung up on that one particular chapter of my life. Honestly, I think up until December, at a certain point, I was missing people that I shouldn't be missing. But thankfully, this year, January, I haven't been having that problem. So I guess it's true what they say, time heals, you know. Whatever chapter in your life that you may encounter, how challenging it could be, just let time pass and time will take care of it. But you also have to put in the effort to actively try to move on from a chapter in your life that you're hung up on. So yeah, I would say that my life is very different, and it's different in a good way. I've seen so much growth in my personal self. I've come so far, but I know that I still got far to go. Next question. What is something you used to care deeply about but now feel differently about? Something that I used to care about is my online presence. I used to want to curate my online platform in a very, very organized manner, in a manner that tries to show the best version of me, and I try to, curate it like the image I had of my online page that is in my mind. I try to curate it and make it into reality and decorate my page as best as I can. So yeah, I used to care so much about that, but I care less about it now. Yeah, I mean, whenever I post, I do make sure that it's decent, but not like in the past. Like in the past, I used to like even brainstorm like what to post, when to post, and yeah, honestly, I think I've given up that part of my life, that part of me that I used to want to do. But yeah, I feel differently about that now. Next question. Have there been any unexpected shifts in your mindset or beliefs recently? What triggered them? I would say that this is pretty unexpected. I used to be a person who isn't religious. I would say that I'm not perfect, definitely, in my faith, in my spiritual walk with God. I know I sound so different now. I'm pretty sure my friends would also say the same thing. Back then, I mean, I grew up Christian, but I never actually knew God. I never knew God. I never had the desire to know who He is. I never had the desire to know why do we worship God and why does God exist? Who is He? And people say that He's the creator. Like, why are we created? Did He really create us? I never wondered about these things back then. But I start to, like when difficulty happened in my life, especially when I was doing my foundational studies. I was away from home. That was my first time being away from home, and I was living by myself with a roommate, but I wasn't living with family. I was just independently living, creating a life for myself, a plane ride away from home. And that was when I faced a bunch of difficulties in my life, and I prayed because I didn't know what else I could do to try and lessen the pain. So I journal a lot. I cry while I write my journal, and I the last straw was I prayed, and then I see that God actually helped me when I prayed. Like when I ask for something, He delivers. I'm so sorry if this is cringy, but I'm just speaking honestly. So yeah, I think I would say that is unexpected. Like if you told the 10-year-old me I would be someone who tries to grow her faith in God when I'm 20, that 10-year-old me would be like, what are you talking about? So yeah, I think that is a pretty unexpected shift in my life. So what triggered them? You answered, they asked here, what triggered them? So what triggered them is I was just facing a difficulty in my life, and I prayed, and then I noticed that my prayers were answered, and I know for a fact that it's God. Yeah. Okay, next question. What habits or routines have shaped your daily life the most? Are they helping or hindering you? Habits or routine that shape my daily life the most? Oh, okay. I don't have a habit that shaped my daily life, but I have a routine. As a student, we live by a schedule where we have to attend classes at this hour of the day. And what are the classes about? We will have materials prepared for us to go through. So the routine that I live by that shaped my life is the school academic routine. And are they helping me or hindering me? I think it's both, honestly. It's helping me get my degree, and it's helping me learn new things. It's helping me learn about medicine, which is the field that I'm currently pursuing. But it's also hindering me in a way that, you know, outside of medicine, outside of career, I also have things that I want to do besides just career. I want to, I don't know, maybe start a business one day. I want to think about all these things that are unthinkable, like unimaginable. Who knows, like in the future maybe I could open a cafe or something, like do something with the resources I have. So these are the things that I would also like to discover more about. But because of this routine of school, academia that shaped my life, that kind of becomes something that distracts me from trying to discover more about the things that are not related to academics, but rather related to what my life could possibly be in the future. So yeah, I think that's the answer. Okay, next question. Is there a version of yourself from the past that you miss? Why? Honestly, no. I personally think the past versions of myself were also cute and lovely, and some of them were very funny and cringy, but I don't miss any of them. I look at them fondly. I look at my past versions of myself with full of love and fondness, looking at the younger versions of myself. But no, I don't miss any of them. I love them all equally. And yeah, why do I not miss them? Because I'm very comfortable where I am right now. I feel like I've grown so far, but I still have more growth that I need to do. I've come so far and I still got far more to go. But yeah, I just love being where I am now. So I don't miss any versions of myself in the past. I'm letting them go, and I'm still loving them. And look at them like my little sister, but no. Those I mean, you know what I mean, right? Like I look back at my past selves with fondness, like, oh, like, yeah, that was me back then. Anyways, yeah, that's my answer. Okay, the next set of questions are about growth and challenge. Oh, sorry. The next set of questions is about emotional and mental state. So, how have you been feeling most of the time? Have you been ignoring any emotions? I feel stable most of the time. I don't feel too happy, and I don't feel sad. I just feel, stable, like in a perfect balance between the two. This is like very happy for no reason, or whatever reason. This is like sad, and I'm always just like stable. That's how I've been feeling most of the time. And have I been ignoring any emotions? No, I don't think so. Moving on. What is something you keep telling yourself but you haven't acted on yet? If I have to choose something, I would probably say making YouTube videos and editing videos, because I'm someone who is also quite interested in video making. Although I would say that I'm not that good at it, but I like personally just documenting fragments of my life and then turning them into this wonderful cute little video that I can look back on. So yeah, I like doing those, but they just take so long to do and they take so much effort. So yeah, that's something that I keep telling myself to do, but I haven't acted on them. Next, are there any recurring thoughts or worries that have been taking up space in your mind? I think I have two categories. One is something that I recently deal with, that is like thinking about romance and romantic life. Like, I'm at a place where I'm learning more about myself and trying to learn more about the Word of God, trying to learn why I'm created, what is the plan that God has for me. So because I'm like doing this on my own, just like trying to grow in my faith and to grow in who I am and trying to discover more about myself with God with my side, obviously, I think about like, when will I get to a point where I can be so secure in myself and I can have a partner with me. So that's one thing that I think about. I don't worry about it, but I think about it, like, what would it be, how will I meet the guy? And honestly, I don't know why I care so much about it. Maybe it's because I just want someone in my life that I can be very close with, and they can be closest to me than anyone else is close to me, you know? I just think that that's such a nice concept, to have someone for you that knows you through and through, that you can confide in without any judgment. So I guess I just that's what I want, I guess. And then another thing is, when I lead my life, I wonder like if God is looking at me and being pleased with me. Yeah, so those are the two things I think about a lot. If my performance is good in God's eye, and if I'm going to get a partner soon. Yeah, okay. Next, if someone close to you were asked to describe your current state, what do you think they would say? I think my friends or someone close to me, if they were to describe me in my current state, they would probably just say that I'm doing fine on my own. Like, Audrey, she's doing fine. She's just living her life simply. Yeah, I think that's what they would say. And they would probably say something like, she's a bit different now, in the sense that she's more religious. I honestly don't know how people think about me, but I've been slowly, gradually expressing more about God, and I know it can be like a turn off for some, but that's just who I am, you know. I'm growing in this phase with God, so I'm sharing about it when I think it's okay to share. So I don't know, I'm thinking maybe my friends probably think I'm a little different in that category, in faith category. So yeah, I think that's what they would say. Okay, next. Have you been treating yourself with kindness, or have you been too hard on yourself? I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I do treat myself. How do you treat yourself with kindness, actually? If we're talking about being hard on yourself, well, sometimes I think that I should try harder, and that I should never lose focus in the direction that I'm going, especially if it's like academic related. So I guess I hold myself accountable to my responsibilities as a student and as a scholar. I hold myself accountable for that, but I don't think that's being hard on yourself. I think you're just being accountable with yourself. So I do that, but being kind to yourself, I take care of myself in sense of like giving myself food cravings occasionally every now and then, and I force myself to go out there and go for a run to take care of my physical health. So I think that considers being kind to yourself. I think there are many ways you can be kind to yourself, and also many ways you can be hard on yourself. So I think I'm somewhere in the middle, a balance, I think. Hopefully, amen. Okay, next, The question is about growth and challenges. So this one asked, what's a challenge you faced recently that you handled better than you expected? A challenge I faced recently was about self-doubt in the field that I'm in. I am in medical field, as I have mentioned, and I thought that I didn't belong here. I thought that I couldn't do it. I doubted myself a lot, but after a call with my loved ones and after sitting in prayer and after thinking about it, I was able to, drag myself out of that loophole, out of that dark hole, whatever. So yeah, I think I handled that okay, better than I expected. I mean, I didn't expect anything, but I handled that nicely, I would say. Okay, next. Oh, we have a couple more questions. Actually, quite a lot more. So I hope that this video isn't too lengthy. Okay, next question. Have there been moments where you felt lost or unsure? How did you navigate that? So I would say that the answer to this question is same as the previous question. I was doubting myself. I was unsure and uncertain if I was in the right field academically, but I think now that if you set your mind to it, you're able to do it. And if you have your heart for the work that you aim to do, then you're in the right path. So how did I navigate them? I just called my loved ones and then expressed to them how I felt. And when I expressed how I felt, I was able to talk with them and discuss about my emotions, why I feel that way. I was able to tackle that problem. So that is how I navigated. Yeah, I just began with expressing what I felt in the moment, talking about that emotions, and then I was able to get to the bottom of why I felt such way. And I was able to see that those emotions of like self-doubt and uncertainty, those were superficial. Those are simply emotions. Emotions come and go, they are fleeting and they're not true. If you feel uncertain, it doesn't mean you don't belong there. You actually do, but it's just that you feel fearful sometimes and you've gotta grab it in its neck and punch the hell out of it, because you can actually do whatever it is that you set your mind to do. The fear, you have to push it out of the way. Okay, next question. What is one lesson you've learned lately that you didn't realize you need? Let me change my position. What is one lesson I learned lately I didn't realize I need? That I should not cut off parents from my life. I mean, I think it differs in every household, but I think as a hormonal teenager, we all have at some point reached that level of resentment towards our parents, haven't we? So there was a moment where I felt like, oh, I finally have freedom. I'm living a plane ride away from home, so I'm not gonna live life closely with my parents anymore. I'm not gonna keep in contact with them. That was what I tried to do, but then I realized that does me no good at all. So yeah, that's the lesson I learned, and I didn't know that I needed to hear it. And I'm in a much better place now because I was able to grow out of that immature mindset. Next, in what ways have you grown, even if you haven't given yourself credit for it? I think I have already given myself credit for most of the growth that I've undergone. One is I'm able to grow out of the past that I was very hung up on. And then secondly, I was able to grow in a way that I'm able to take care of myself. Although it's very hard sometimes, I'm able to take care of myself, and when my emotions are like waves, they would make me feel so crappy. I'm able to ground myself and tell me that it's alright, it's okay, emotions come and go. This is just how my body reacts to things, and I shouldn't be beating up myself for it. Instead, I should give myself more love when I feel like my emotions are storming up in me. So yeah, I think those are the ways that I have grown, in the ways in which I have grown, and yeah, I think I do give myself credit for all those. Next, if you had to name one thing that has tested your resilience the most, what would it be? One thing that tested my resilience the most. I don't think there's one particular thing. I think it's it's a plethora of things that tested my resilience. Like challenges, daily stressors. Like you'd come back on a holiday to be with your family, and then there would be some arguments, and then you were able to remain patient and not blow up like the rest of the family are doing, I think that's one thing that tested my resilience, and I was able to stay patient. And another thing is temptations from your own flesh as well. When you yearn to do something and you know it's not right, but you're able to overcome the temptation. I think that's also one way that I was able to remain resilient. And another thing is self-doubt. Once again, I was able to break out of that uncertainty mindset that whether or not I belong in this field. I was able to stay resilient and not drop out. So yeah, I don't think it's just one thing. I think it's a number of things, several things. Yeah. Next, we have two more set of questions. So this second last set is about relationships and connections. So the question asked, have your relationships with others changed in any significant way? Have my relationship with others changed in any significant way? I think it did change, but it's not that significant. I no longer just talk to my friends just because I'm bored, because I don't think that's what friends are for. I would argue on some days, if you're bored, you can just ring your friend up and catch up. But if you're really just like bored, you should not rely on your friends to give you entertainment, to get you out of that boredom state. Rather, you should like look around in your life. What can you do, instead of just like always reaching to the phone and like disturbing your friends. Hey, I'm bored. Hey, I'm bored. Hey, I'm bored. I don't think that's a way to treat your friend. I don't think it's nice to do that. Like your friends are not there just to treat your boredom. So yeah, I think that's one way that I changed my relationship. And then another thing is I don't confide in my friends anymore, because although I love my friends, I understand that sometimes I have a lot of big emotions and I think deeply about those emotions, and I know that some of my friends are not like that. They probably won't understand me in the way that I think, so that's why I don't confide in my friends as easily as I did before. Because if you confide in your friend, you would like seek to hear the right thing that come out of their mouth, and if they don't say that right thing, you feel unsatisfied and you feel like you want to cut them off. So no, that is not a way to treat your friends. So I think that's one way that my relationship dynamic also changed, but I don't think it's like that significant of a change. I tend to keep to myself more what I think is a private matter than I did before, because before I was so like dial the phone, talk about shit, and then like I don't know. I hope you understand. So yeah, I think that's how the dynamic has changed. Next, is there someone you've drifted away from? Do you feel the need to reconnect or let them go? Yes, there is someone I've drifted away from. It's a former friend of mine that we don't really hit it off well, but I wish the best for that person, and I do not feel the need to reconnect. Instead, I feel the need to let them go more. I've already let them go, but the memories would come again occasionally. So I'm always forgiving again and forgetting again, forgiving again, forgetting again. So that's what I've been doing. Yeah. Next, have you been showing up for the people who matter to you? Have they been showing up for you? I don't think there's a thing that I can do for them to show that I'm showing up for them. If they're in close proximity with me, I would show up for them. But sadly, unfortunately, a lot of my friends are scattered across the country. So even if I want to show up for them, it's impossible, and vice versa. So yeah, that's the answer to this question. Next, do you feel understood by the people around you? Why or why not? like, hear me out. So I have like a lot of circle of friends, and some of them are able to understand and think the way I do, and we're able to agree in like conversations, discussing about topics, many topics. But some of my friends, I don't normally talk to them about like emotional analysis like topic, and like deep heavy topics I don't talk to them about. But these are friends that I grew up with and I spend a lot of my time with in school back then, growing up. But I don't really like unpack deep stuff with them. So I think that I love all these groups of people equally, but only a few of them can understand me. But the others, few of them, I love them, but we don't talk about deep things. So I don't know the answer to that. Like, do they understand me? I don't know, because I've never tried letting them inside my heart and like talking about stuff that are deep and very deep lah. Like, you know, things that are very philosophical. I never tried talking to them about it because that was just never a thing that we did. Meanwhile, with the other group of friends, we do it like at least once a month. We never schedule it, but when the topic came up, we would talk about it. Talk about deep philosophical, emotional, analytical stuff. But with the other group of people, I don't normally do that. So, do both group understand me? With this group, I'm not sure because I've never tried talking to them about things that I deeply think about. But with the other group, yeah, they do. Next, if you could have an honest conversation with someone, who would it be and what would you say? If I could have an honest conversation with someone, it would be with God. And I would ask, how did I do? How do you think I'm doing? Am I going in the right path? Yeah. Okay, this is the last set of questions. It's about future and direction. If nothing in your life changed for the next 5 years, would you be okay with that? Why or why not? I would not be okay if the next 5 years of my life nothing changed. Because the next 5 years of my life, I want to see me graduating and getting that degree scroll, bachelor's degree in medicine, and I'm excited for many more endeavors that are coming in the future. So yeah, because in 5 years I expect more achievements. Next, is there something you want but feel hesitant to go after? What is holding you back? No, there is nothing I want that I'm hesitant to go after. Next, what is one small change you can make that would make a big impact on your life? One small change I can make that would make a big impact on my life. Studying consistently and being in love with it. I think that would. And being in love with work, not working per se, but being diligent. Yeah, if I can change something in me, that is to set my system, my wire, to become someone who is like diligent and loves working, be it studying, be it cleaning the house, be it cleaning out my wardrobe. If I can change and rewire my mind to become someone who is diligent, that would be very impactful in my life. Okay, next. If your future self could give you one piece of advice right now, okay, what do you think it would be? My future self. Honestly, I think it's that. Be more diligent. Stop being a lazy daisy. Okay, next. What do you want to be able to say about your life a year from now? I would want to be able to say that I'm so thankful for my past self, for how she's been keeping on that grind, trying to develop herself and trying to cut out all the things that are not needed in her life, and she's able to focus on her growth, and then now I'm her. That is one thing that I want to be able to say about me a year from now. Okay, so those are all the questions. That was a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly enjoyed it. So yeah, thank you for watching.